It Takes Two, Amy Eiler, JJ Gordon on the Mighty 790 KFGO. Don't forget to find us at KFGO.com, where we don't charge you a dime, not even a dime, for news, weather, and sports, both local and national, 24/7. We understand that there's a pretty significant road trip taking place right now across the state of North Dakota, and we're sending some of our finest, some firefighters out to help with the devastating wildfires that are going. So underway right now, 4 Fargo firefighters took off for Oregon. And we've got Steve Dirksen on the line with us. Steve, can you remember a time when you've sent firefighters or firefighters from Fargo have traveled this far to help with something?
This is the first time that I know of in the history of the Fargo Fire Department, and I've been here 9 years. But talking with guys before, that we've done anything outside of the state of North Dakota, outside of going over to Minnesota with our agreement with Moorhead and things like that. But, yeah, this is a first-time event for us. Now,
it is not only Fargo, but I understand Grand Forks, and they're caravanning right now down on 84, as I understand it.
That's correct. Our 2 departments met up this morning here in Fargo as Grand Forks came through, and went to Bismarck to pick up some equipment that was there through the North Dakota Department of Emergency Services and the North Dakota Forest Service, and grabbed a few things that they would need while they go out there, and left again, I believe here, I'm not quite sure how long ago they left Bismarck, but they're en route to Oregon as we speak.
Fargo Fire Chief Steve Dirksen is with us. So is this a volunteer effort on your part, or did people from Oregon reach out to Fargo, North Dakota, or North Dakota in general and say, we need your help?
Yeah, each and every state through congressional action has joined what's called EMAC, the Emergency Management Assistance Compact. What this agreement does is it's a governor-to-governor request for resources and personnel in times of emergency. So late last week, the state of Oregon had reached out and put out an EMAC request for resources and personnel. The state of North Dakota received that request and processed through it. It had to go through a series of vetting in Bismarck, and this weekend, Governor Burgum signed the agreement that said, "Yep, we'll work to commit some resources to you." That's when we got involved, and the request went out to fire departments across the state to deploy resources or to see the availability of resources. We looked internally and worked with city administration and the mayor to work through this process, and we determined that we could commit 1 fire engine and 4 personnel.
So who do you send, and how do you decide who you send?
Well, this changes. This is a different request than what normally happens when we talk about sending firefighters to go fight fires in other communities. Being that this was an EMAC request, this request was specifically for structural firefighters. Not to say that they won't see wildland fire conditions and things like that while they're out there, but they're mostly going to be working within a community, within a municipality, either providing structural protection or working to suppress fires in structures. But they may have what we call in the fire service a wildland-urban interface component to it, where you have houses and businesses right in that area of trees and grasses and things like that. As far as picking these folks, we gave an opportunity. We asked for volunteers, and then we tried to make sure that we had it spread out through all 3 of our shifts, so that we didn't have one shift that was down a large number of people, and kind of move it along that way.
Steve, on the lighter side of things, what's it like to road trip in a fire engine that far? Because I've made that drive in a minivan, and it was unbearable by the time I hit mid-Montana. These guys must be ready and raring to go for a road trip.
Well, that's to say the least. I made sure they all packed a bottle of Advil. In my career, I've ridden an engine about 120 miles is the longest I've had to ride in a fire engine down the road, and that was not a pleasant experience. And so it is, it's a big, heavy truck running down the road. The seats are not meant for long-term riding. They're meant to carry certain pieces of equipment and make a quick deployment inside of a community. The longest, hopefully, generally we ever ride in a fire truck is 10 minutes in city streets. So. Oh
no, you're not sounding that is not sounding appealing right now.
The driver probably has the best seat in the house. Those seats tend to be just a little bit more comfortable. But we did send a chase vehicle along with them, so not everybody had to ride the engine. So they are going with a minivan that was able to carry some of their personal equipment, and we're carrying the fire equipment on the fire engine. So.
Nice.
Steve, how long do you think they might be out there?
Well, the duration of the request was for 18 days. So beginning today until October 1st is what the request was for, and that's what we signed up for and have agreed to. That can change anytime. If we had all of a sudden had great weather conditions out on the West Coast, particularly the state of Oregon, and they would, if they'd get some rain or some snow, winds would subside, winds would change directions, and the fire would burn back on itself or burn out. Then their deployment could be cut short. There is an option that the state of Oregon can request back through us to extend time out there. We'd take a look at that and see what is happening here locally, if we could continue to support that, or if we would need to bring those folks back. But we're committed for up to 18 days at this point, and we'll assess it as we go forward.
Do you know what particular part of Oregon they might end up in?
I hate to say that today, because in the course of the last 12 to 24 hours, that place, that target location has changed 4 times.
Oh, wow.
So I might tell you Medford today, and it might be Portland tomorrow. Who knows? So as they move there, they'll get their assignments. The team leader that's leading them that will be in contact with the incident command out in Oregon, and they will be providing the direction on where they want them to be and what their assignment will be.
So, sorry, did you say? But do you know if the Grand Forks and everybody, all the different North Dakota departments, are going to be working together at all?
Yeah. What they've done is what they asked for was either a strike team or a task force, and what that generally means is 5 units. If it's a strike team, it's 5 fire engines with like and similar capabilities, with a leader to go out there. The state of North Dakota, we were able to fill 3 engines, so that changes the name to a task force because it's not 5. And we sent them out with a leader, and they'll all be working together, those 3 engines, and then the team leader that's going with them.
Well, we're all hoping and praying for their safety, of course. That's, I think, at the top of everybody's mind, and I know that's one of the first messages we received in here in our text club at 35270 when we first started talking about this. So, Fargo Chief Dirksen, thanks for letting us know what they're doing and where they're headed, and of course we're praying for their safety.
Well, we appreciate that, and we in the Red River Valley have enjoyed the assistance of people throughout the years with our emergencies, and we're happy to be able to respond and help in this time. And as I said in an email this weekend to some folks, I said 2020, wow. And this has been a career thing for me as a fire chief, just of all the different events that we're planning for and what we're doing. So we're just glad to be able to be part of it and be helpful. And we continue to thank the community for their great support.
Yeah. Wow. 2020. Wow is right. Put that on your next shirt, Chief Dirksen.
Right.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Yep. Stay in touch, and we'll let you know as we hear information back and what's going on. We'll continue to keep the community and your listeners updated on what's going on.
Yeah, please do. We'd like that. Thanks so much.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. This is It Takes Two. Amy Eiler, JJ Gordon here on KFGO.